I don't know about you guys, but my federal election bingo card did not have Joe Exotic endorsing Anthony Albanese. But here we are. Yes, that is the Tiger King's official Instagram account posting today. And for anyone who needs a refresher course on who exactly Joe Exotic is, here you go.
Hey, I'm Joe Exotic, otherwise known as the Tiger King, the gay gun cane redneck with a mullet.
I saw Tiger, now I understand.
So I'm guessing you probably have some questions, including, but not limited to, what the actual how can Joe Exotic post from prison, and why on earth is he supporting Albo?
I wasn't even aware of all of that.
As for the why, we can trace all of this back to an interview Joe Exotic gave this morning to the Today FM Brekkie Show.
We're friends with Albo, who could potentially, he's the current Prime Minister. Can you say, vote one, Anthony Albanese, and we'll play it for him?
Everybody, this is Joe Exotic, and I want you to vote for Anthony Albanese to be Prime Minister of Australia.
As for how Joe Exotic can post on Instagram from jail, where he is currently serving a 21-year sentence for a murder for hire plot and animal abuse, well, the short answer is he can't.
It's just my own little town. I'm the mayor, the prosecutor, the cop, and the executioner.
As he revealed in a letter in 2023, Joe composes his posts and mails them to his team, who then post on social media on his behalf and deal with all the comments. Talking about comments, his post about Anthony Albanese attracted a comment from one user who asked how much Labor paid for the post. But did anyone seriously think the Labor Party would see an advantage in getting Joe Exotic, someone who has been convicted of attempted murder, to endorse Albo from prison? Well, now we know they didn't. Anthony Albanese fronted National Press Club today for the last time before the country goes to the polls on Saturday. Federal politics reporter Ellen Ransley was there. Ellen, how did the PM seem today?
I think he was in good spirits. You know, we've only got a couple of days to go. This is a tradition. The PM was definitely making a point that he respects the tradition of addressing the National Press Club, and has made this point a few times now that Peter Dutton hasn't given an address at the National Press Club since becoming opposition leader. This speech there was nothing standout new in it. It wasn't about making new announcements. This was very much a summary, a concluding argument, putting to the Australian people ahead of Judgment Day on Saturday. It was a stump speech. It was very much going through the Labor's greatest hits. We saw him brandish his Medicare card, of course, it's never far from him, talking about Medicare, of course, talking about tax cuts and all these other kind of Labor policies that we've been talking about for months now.
Just when Anthony Albanese thought an endorsement from Joe Exotic was the most unhelpful thing to happen to him today, an appearance by Foreign Minister Penny Wong on the Batuta Advocates podcast came to light.
He thought it was the right thing to do, and a lot of the First Nations leaders wanted the opportunity. So, look, I think we'll look back on it in 10 years' time and it'll be a bit like marriage equality.
Now, that's Penny Wong talking about the voice referendum, which is so radioactive to Albo that he'd probably rather crawl inside one of Peter Dutton's proposed nuclear reactors. Unsurprisingly, Peter Dutton latched onto Penny Wong's comments and used it as evidence that Labor was secretly trying to resurrect the voice.
I thought the Prime Minister had heard that we said no, and now it turns out Labor's thinking about legislating it, and it would be first order of business, as I say, between a Labor Greens government. So Australians should send the Prime Minister a message that they don't want the voice in any form, and the Prime Minister needs to start being honest with the Australian public about Labor's secret plan in relation to the voice.
First order of business? That feels like a stretch, and by stretch I mean a shameless dog whistle to the same crowd who now apparently finds welcome to country ceremonies so offensive, but it forced Albo to respond. She didn't say that. She did not say that. She spoke about how people will look back on what the issues were. That's very different from saying it's inevitable. Ultimately, this is the last thing the PM needed 3 days out from an election, and it's bloody ironic that it came from the Batuta Advocate, who the Labor Party actually paid to run the PM's re-election podcast strategy. How's that working out?